There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Keep your eyes on the road ahead. If you're feeling lost in the night, it's okay to cry. Just as long as you hold your head. 'Cause we're on our way to better. Better's ahead. Better's ahead. Because worse for it gets better. But better's ahead. Better's ahead. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Hey, Passion. Miss Mama to you. Good evening, everyone. Come on in. Go ahead and share as soon as you come in. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Come on in. Please comment. Tell me you hear. Share if you will. If you're coming on viewing through my personal social media page, I'll be able to see the comments and stuff once I get off later on. Got a few things to do after this segment. But please do say hello and comment, and I will respond. Good evening. I'm going to wait a few more minutes before I begin. I missed y'all. Good evening. Keep going, shine bright, don't dim yours for no one. Don't dim your light for nobody. Don't dim your light for nobody. Do you hear me? For nobody. I cannot wait to share some of these encouraging words with you on this evening. And I pray that the things that I say, that they will help you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or help you help someone else. But I want to say I missed you guys. Oh my God, I missed you guys. Last week, unexpectedly, I had to resume this week because I had someone in my family who got sick, and so I needed to do some things last week, in which it was kind of good as well. I got to, I stayed doing quite many things, and sometimes I'd be exhausted. And last week I was kind of exhausted. But nevertheless, I missed you guys. Oh my God, I did. And I hate when that was my third time in almost a year having to, one of them didn't count because it was Thanksgiving. So my second time having to cancel the segment of Wisdom Wednesday. But let me tell you something. Even though my presence was not on live, I was still praying for you guys. Thank you for those ones who are consistent and they join me every Wednesday to hear little old me. For those of you that are new to join this segment, my name is Dr. L. Perkins. And Wisdom Wednesday is just a small time frame of a segment that I come to share some encouraging words. I call myself, or I love to encourage individuals. So, and I love to see individuals win. I love to see individuals get aligned on their purpose and start to fulfill their purpose, or at least walk in their purpose. So I'm the encouragement pusher, the empowerment pusher, the purpose pusher, like anything that causes individuals to move to their next level, I'm all for. I understand that oftentimes we can be stagnated and stuck in a place for a lot of reasons. And so these segments that I come to do are, although they may brief, I'm bringing words of encouragement. I'm bringing words of empowerment. I'm bringing words that could help you and myself to transform, because guess what, I have to be first partaker. The things that I come and share with you, it is not just because, oh well, it's just book knowledge and this. Let me tell you something, I don't want anyone coming to tell me nothing if they can't relate. Okay, I don't want anyone to come share anything with me if they can't relate to what I may be going through, what I have been went through, or what I'm currently going through. Because in order for us to break the barriers of some of the things that have happened in our past, some of the things that may be currently happening in our future, it's important that we not only have the knowledge but the understanding. And a lot of times people try to put them together, and I'm not. Listen, I'm a jack of all trades, but I don't know everything. So what I don't know, I have a brother or a sister that I can refer you to. I have someone else that is aligned in the same work, that wants to see individuals win, that wants to see individuals delivered, that wants to see individuals set free. So although if I can't help you, I know individuals who can. And that's what's important in this season. It's not one person, one individual, is that's it. It's not one ministry and that's it. It is every joint supplier. That means all of us. All of us. It takes us all to help one another get to the next level. You may not know everything. He may not know everything. Might not know everything, but somebody knows something, and that we can help one another get to the next level. And for those of you who who got it all together, for those of you who have arrived, for those of you who don't need no help, then you might not need to be listening. Because tonight, hey Jen, tonight we're going to talk about some things, and I might step on some toes, but that's fine. Because guess what? In order for us to grow in any area, we have to feel the pain. We have to feel the hurt. We have to feel the ouch. Because if not, we will stay in the same mess. Do you hear me? We will stay in the same situation. We will stay doing the same thing the same way and getting the same results, and then attribute it or say it contributed to something else that it ain't got nothing to do with but us. And that's the problem. We have mirrors. And I know whether you in your car, there's a mirror, there's a rearview mirror. If you at home in the bathroom, I'm sure you have some mirrors. Some of us got mirrors in our purses. Some of us get our phones and we look at our little, reflection from the camera. But let me tell you something. When I tell you tonight, it might be a little sticky. It might be a little, but I promise you, I want us to win. I want us to be delivered. I want us to be free. I want us to stay out of bondage. I want us to work on and focus on us. You need to focus on you. So tonight it is getting you in check. Getting you in check. Who are you? Who are you? So we know in this, in case some of you don't know, this month is Mental Health Month. Okay? This month is Mental Health Month. And although we know that we may have people in our families that have mental health diagnosis, we may have individuals that we may know that may have mental health diagnosis, Let me tell you something. There are a lot of individuals who may not have a diagnosis, but mental health is just as important as physical health. Mentally, we have to be aligned. Mentally, we have to be in check. Mentally, we have to be able to govern and do the things that we are supposed to do in everyday life. Mentally, we should be have a stable mentality. Period. But I'm gonna shift I'm gonna shift a little bit. I just wanted you individuals to know that it is mental health month. But let me tell you something. Getting you in check. And I brought up mental health month because this is the thing. Some of you don't know who you are. That's a mental health issue. It might not fall on the DSM-6 axis, but if you don't know who you are, then you are stuck at a place that you're not going to be able to grow. You're stuck in a place that you're running around here. Some of you, I'm not talking about no teenagers. I'm talking about 30, 40, 45, 60, 70 years old and still don't have you in check. You around here trying to tell everybody else what to do with their life, how they should do with their life, and you don't even have yours in check. You don't even know who you are. Why? Because you're trying to live up to everybody's expectation. You was born Renee, but you're trying to be Cynthia, Brian, William, and everybody else because you want to fit in. Who are you? Who are you? Hey, Rachel, who are you? Why is it so hard? And when I'm saying that, more than ever, people are going year after year in the same place. You're trying to fit in. You're trying to fit in at work because you want to be in that group. You're trying to fit in at church because you want to be accepted. You want them to call you to do this. You want to be in the in crowd. You want to fit into everything, so you're running around here with your neck cut off like a chicken because you don't know who you are, and that's a dangerous place to be in because you don't want to get you in check. You got to get you in check. Then you're wondering why your child around here trying to find love, trying to find out who they are, going seeking love in all the wrong places, acting up in school. Why? Because mama, daddy, or both don't know who they are. They're not spending time with the child. They're not telling the child that he or she or them, they're wonderfully, beautifully made, that they're leaders, that they're going to be this and that. They're so busy trying to live up to what society says. They're so busy trying to live up to who their husband wants them to be, and that's not who they're called to be. They're so busy trying to prove the naysayers. Who cares about the naysayers? Listen, there will always be people who tell you you're not going to be able to do. There's always going to be people that say who she thinks she is. She ain't nobody, and I don't like her, this, that, and the other. You know. Well, some of you don't know, but let me tell you something. If I would have listened to some of the things that people have said, some of the ways how I have been ostracized, because I'm the type of person, I'm not going to try to fit in because I know who I am. Do you understand me? I know who I am and always have. So people say, oh, she thinks she all that. Oh, she this, she boot. Oh, we don't want to do whatever the case may be. And and women, we can be very bad for that and not even know a person, not even know what that person has been through. Not even, you won't even be able to fit the shoes that some of the individuals that you are talking about are pushing away or ostracizing. You wouldn't even be able to walk in their shoes. Why? Because you see them on the outside. But you cannot allow people to have you question who you are. You have to know who you are. Let them talk. Let them talk and let them walk. That's not your personal responsibility to make people comfortable with you. That's not your personal responsibility for you to try to fit in so they can like you. That's not your personal responsibility for you to talk how they want you to talk. That's not your personal responsibility for you to act how they want you to act. You need to find out who you are. That's why I say get you in check. You got to get you in check. You're too old to be running around here not knowing who you are. You're too old to be running around here trying to be like somebody else. You're too old to be running around here subject to everybody else's opinion. You are too old. It's time out. It's time out in this season, but it been time out in the seasons before. But what more so now, let me tell you something. What people want to do is use manipulation to try to control you. They want to use manipulation because they feel inferior to you. That's their problem. That's a personal problem. Who are you? Who are you? You were made, and you were made with purpose. From when you was in your mother's womb, you was made with purpose. You might not know what your purpose is, but I suggest that you try to figure it out so you won't be walking out everybody else's purpose and wasting time. Who are you? Who do they say you are? Who are you supposed to be? And we're not worried about what they say. What does God say? Who does he say you are? Who does he say you're supposed to be? Who does he say that you're going to be? That's what you need to figure out. Not trying to live up to what your mom and them said, because you're dealing with the spirit of rejection. You dealing with people that have left you. You dealing with friends who didn't want to have anything to do with you for what you really don't know. It's time out for that. Who are you? It's time out to be saying, you 50, 60 years old. When I was 10, my mama left me. When I was 15, you need to be delivered. You need to face the fact that you need healing and you need to get deliverance. You need to find that root. I don't care. That's right, Jen. I don't care what man tells you that you're not. You have to counteract that thing and say that I am. When they say that you not or you can't, you say that I am and I will. That's what you're going to have to start doing, because you got to know who you are. That is a mental thing that starts bothering, that you get worration, you're stressed because you're trying to fit in. Let me tell you another thing. Stop trying to fit in. If you know your budget is one thing, but you're trying to hang with the Joneses, the Smiths, and everybody else, you need to check yourself. Because guess what? You don't know what the Joneses, the Smiths, and whoever have done to get themselves in the situation that they are in to be financially stable, to be able to do some of the things that they're doing. So you need to stay in your lane. And see, it's difficult sometimes because some people ain't going to tell you that. As long as you're doing for them, as long as you're doing this, that, and the other, they're going to have you spend everything that you got, and you walking around here looking busted and disgusted. Listen, you have to know who you are. You got to get yourself in check. It's your job to get yourself in check. You got too many people attached to you. And for those of you who have children, or for those of you who are godmoms, who are stepmoms, stepfathers, godfathers, whatever, any type of role model, a aunt, a grandma, listen, it's important that you find out who you are. Why? It's not what you tell your children a lot of times that's going to count. It's what they see you model. It's what they see you model. See, words hurt. Words people listen to. Yes, they do. But your actions tell a lot. You can say, I love you, or this, that, and the other all day long. But if your actions don't show, so you have to show your model to your children how that they can know who they are, so they won't walk around with their head down. They won't be looking these young women going to this man and that man because they see you running around here sleeping with this man and that man and not knowing who you are, because you think laying down with a man is going to have them to love you. You think that laying down with a man is going to cause them to marry you. It won't, sis. It won't. Same thing to go for men. Your mama left you. you was in foster care or whatever the case may be. You didn't grow up with your mom, so you go around here abusing women, sleeping with all these different kind of women, having all these children. Why? Because you don't know who you are. You are dealing with the spirit of rejection. You are dealing with the spirit of abandonment. You are dealing with the spirit of you're angry, have all of those things, so you're taking it out on other individuals. Listen, you need to find out who you are and get to the root of that thing. Because guess who? The only ones that suffer are these children that are coming in this world. These children that are brought into the world when we are not healed. You got to be healed. And you know, and in some things, you're going to have to search to find out for yourself. Like y'all like to go and Google all of this stuff, where this, the outfit, the car, all these other things that you go, Amazon this and Amazon that, Fashion Nova, all these other places that you make, Macy's and all that. Try Googling some things to find out so you can encourage yourself, so you can lift yourself up, so you can impart certain things and say certain words and get to certain places in your life. You might want to take some courses or whatever to grow. You got to be healed, and so you can know who you are. We got so many people walking in bodies that's not even been assigned to them. What do you mean by that, Dr. Perkins? Dr. P, what do you mean by that? I mean, you're walking around symbolically with your head on another body. And it ain't even aligned to that body. So it's operating out of order. Mama, it's operating out of order. That head don't even fit with that body because you're trying to be like that person and you cannot. You can only be you. Yes. That declaration, let me tell you, if you have to, get you a mirror, put those declarations up there. For those of you, I talked about that stuff way a long time ago. It's important. Sometimes you got to encourage yourself. Sometimes you got to speak over yourself because it ain't going to be nobody around that does. Sometimes some things you can't tell everybody because they can't handle it. So those are the things that you got to do for yourself. You got to want the healing. You got to seek the healing. You got to want it. But you need to know who you are. Who are you? Who does God say that you are? Are you listening to man or are you listening to God? Are you listening to your pastor or are you listening to what the Lord has told you about you? That's right, Jen. Multiple personalities can kick in trying to be everything for everything. That's what it is. Your identity, your identity is lost. Your birth certificate says one thing, but you trying to live out somebody else's identity. You got to get it together. Get yourself in check so you won't be mentally drained. So you won't be trying to be running around here trying to do everything else somebody else trying to do, and you know that's not for you, but you want to fit in. I have never seen a bunch of, I'm not talking about these children, because some of this we can't even blame the children, because look at the adults. The adults put so many mandates, put so many restrictions, put so many things on the children that they not even doing. Trying to fit in, trying to do it. I'm talking about don't have no identity of their own because they're trying to fit in. I don't mind not fitting. I know that I have been set apart. I know that. I've been knowing that for a long time. And when I finally realized that years and years and years ago, I owned it. I don't try to fit in. I know I can't fit in because I'm set apart. And I own that. I know who I am. I don't need nobody else saying, well, this, that, and the other. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. Sometimes people, family members, church people who can be manipulative. That's why you got to know. You got to have a discernment. You got to be saying your prayer closet. So when stuff comes to you, sound a little fishy, or you ain't supposed to be doing, that you don't be saying, yeah, okay, I do it. Okay, stop saying yes to everything because you want to fit in. Who are you? Who are you? Get you in check before you try to do and get someone else in check. Before you look, when you look in that mirror, who do you see? If you don't love yourself, don't expect nobody else to love you. If you don't take care of yourself, don't expect nobody else to take care of you. If you don't get the rest and the nourishment and the self, don't expect for nobody else to try to give it to you, because they're going to use you and wear you out as much as they can. Get you in check. Know that it's okay for you to get rest. It's okay for you to say no. It's okay to have your time. It's okay to fulfill your purpose. It's okay. And when they start talking against it, you say, the devil is a lie. Because see, people will start telling you their heart after a while when you start not doing what you was once doing for them. When you start taking care of yourself, when you start your self-care, when you start really believing and pursuing your purpose, you will notice the real people that may be in your circle. Let me make sure get you in check. Start remaining in some of these relationships that mean good, because you're worried about what this person gonna say, what the church gonna say, what this other. I don't care whether it's friends, family members, or not. Sometimes you have to cut yourself loose and get free. Get you in check. That's part of getting free. It's finding out who you are. So many people are running around not knowing who they are so they can fit in. The only thing that you need to fit in with is the purpose that God has for you, and everything else will fall in place. Everything else will fall in place. Stop allowing people to manipulate you. Stop allowing people to manipulate you, especially people that may be in authority. Stop allowing them to do that. That is manipulation. That is a spirit. And Jezebel can be a man or a woman, because Jezebel is a spirit. So no matter what you've been hearing in church, the traditional church, because I was raised traditional, listen, it's a spirit. Stop allowing people to manipulate and call it out if you have to. Some people can't take the boldness. Some people can't take that you're not scared and that you don't mind. Listen, okay, no, that's not right. Sometimes you're going to have to stand up and speak up. You are. I just came by here tonight to tell you, hey, cousin, and to tell you that you need to get you in check and find out who you are. Who are you? That's what you need to ask yourself. Who are you? What have you wasted so much time trying to figure out and do this and do that and try to figure out all of this stuff? Have you allowed people to treat you any kind of way because that's what you thought, because of how you was raised, because a little bit of love that you thought you was getting, because of money and finances, you thought stability? Let me tell you something. I tell people this all the time. Money ain't everything. People say, money makes the world go round. It sure do, and money kill folks too. There have been plenty of people with a lot of money that has committed suicide. They're depressed. They're stressed. They're not happy. Money is fine. I like money, but I don't love it. I don't love it more than my peace. I don't love it more than my happiness. I don't love it more than any other thing. I don't love it more than my children. I don't love it more than my family. I don't love it more than the connections that I have built. I do not love money. People say, this, that, and the other. Oh, you don't like this. Oh, I can't believe you don't like shop. I don't. I do not. You can ask my family to tell you right now. I can't stand shopping. I don't like spending money, y'all. That's just a whole nother story. But let me tell you something. The value that you have in yourself is important. Who you are and who you know that you are called to be is more important than money. Do not continue to run around here wasting time trying to be everything for everybody else and nothing for yourself because you don't know who you are. That's right, Passion. Do not, do not waste any more time trying to figure out who you are. Don't waste any more time thinking that you're inadequate because you have these individuals up here. Listen, you can get there too, sister, bro. Get you in check and find out who you are. That's the important thing. See, a lot of times when people can benefit off you not knowing who you are, they're not going to keep encouraging you to tell you to find that because they don't want you to excel them. They don't want you to grow. They want you to be stagnated. They want you to be at their beck and call. But no, you have purpose. You have purpose. If you got to cut some relationships, cut them. If you got to leave some places, leave them. If you got to tell some people a couple, 2, 3 things, tell them. That's what you got to do. That's just this thing to protect you, to protect your peace, and to protect what you are called to do. Get you in check. Stop being around here thinking and worrying and oh, I can't please this person. Oh, why are you trying to please them anyway? Why? Yes, they will, Jenny. Will use you up as long as they can. But I'm a firm believer. Let me tell you something. Know who you are. They can call you bougie. They can call you stuck up. They can say, oh, he think he all that. Oh, they can, whatever the case may be. But when you know who you are, you're not going to be tugged to and fro and doing this, that, and that. It does, listen, it does not matter. Know who you are. Grow in you. You have children, and I don't care if they're older, they're still looking. What and how and what they see, that's what they're going to mimic. So if you don't know who you are, they're not going to know who they are. And it's going to be a never-ending cycle. So I encourage you, because you are somebody. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You have purpose. You have purpose. You are the head and not the tail. You are not to be walked on. You are to be walked with. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Well, that concludes our Wisdom Wednesday for tonight. I hope that I've said at least one thing that to encourage you on finding out who you are, removing some things, replacing some things, holding your head up, getting healed, delivered, and set free in some of the areas that you may be in bondage in. That is my prayer on tonight, that you be set free and that you fully begin to fulfill your purpose. And the first thing is knowing who you are. Once you know who you are, then you will begin to start understanding who and what you were called to be. Bless you, bless your family. I thank you for those who are always encouraging me, pushing me, joining me on my Wisdom Wednesdays. And I pray for transformation. Yes, that restoration. Let me tell you, that's been a word for these last few weeks. It's been restoration, and he can and will restore you. You just got to want it. Let me tell you, restoration is a phenomenal thing. Some of us have lost so many things, but just because they're lost, we can get those things back 100-fold. You just have to want it. And in this season, you need to declare that restoration is your purpose, is your portion. You need to declare that restoration is your purpose. Do you hear me? Everything that you had lost, even if you had lost your identity once before, let me tell you, ask the Lord to restore it. Ask the Lord to replenish it. And let me tell you, ask the Lord to, once he restore that identity that you once lost, that the fire that you will have will push you to levels you've never seen before. That is my prayer for you, is that you move forward and you have the fire that's lit up in you for you to be able to accomplish those things that He's had for you on your purpose journey. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you, Lord's willing, next Wednesday, same time, same place. Do have a good evening.